Hi everyone and welcome to my latest video. I'm making this video because I've seen a lot of comments and videos recently on the UK reselling Facebook group and on YouTube about sharing of information, and very recently I think Global Voodoo put up a video about is information is this free information, is it becoming too much, is it creating too much competition? And another great YouTuber, Michael Pierce, replied to that. He wasn't very enamored with Global Voodoo's point of view, and there's been a lot of discussion about this on the UK Facebook group, so I just wanted to chime in and make a little video about my position, my view on competition and free information. Now, information is a commodity. It is not something that you can just expect to get for free. There's been an old saying for yonks called "knowledge is power." So of course, information is important and it's valuable, and as such, as being a valuable commodity, people are entitled in this capitalist world that we live in, that we're all part of, we're all trying to get along with. People are entitled to charge you for that information. Now, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Um, just know that the same information is often available for free. Now, for many, many years, there have been lots and lots of sales courses floating around. People used to buy them on audio cassette. People used to buy them on CD. People pay money to go and see amazing motivational speakers like Tony Robbins. And, I myself have watched lots of videos on YouTube for free by a guy called Jim Rohn, who I just adore. And, God rest his soul. But this stuff is available in both paid for and free if you know where to look for it. So and the same applies with reselling. So there's plenty of information that you can pay for. Books on how to sell, how to resell, how to buy stuff from auctions and boot fairs and thrift stores and garage sales and resell them online for profit or wherever. And there's also lots of free information. Now, um, I don't think you should begrudge either. I don't think you should be mad at people that sell the information, because it's valuable. It will help you. If you know this stuff, it will improve what you're doing. The chances are, if you're new, if you're completely new to this, what's wrong with it? I don't personally see the point. Yes, you can get it for free as well, and that's great too. People like Nick Hills and Tom the English Picker, they're the two guys in the UK that sat in front of a webcam like this and just completely spilled their guts on what items they buy, how much they buy them for, how much they sell them for, the profit they make. And they're the ones that showed me that you can make a full-time living, a decent full-time living, by selling second-hand goods. I used to go to boot fairs for many, many years since I was a kid, and I used to just look for bargains for myself. And after seeing their videos, I decided to take the plunge and become a full-time reseller. I'm still within my first year. I'm still growing. I'm selling things, and in theory, that makes me competition, all because of the free information they provided. So it's understandable that some people watch these videos with all this free information, these YouTube videos or these posts where people are posting what items to look out for, the bolos as they're known as, or they're just taking in all this amazing information that's out there on what to look out for, where to look for it, how to buy it, what price to get it at, and what you can achieve for it. A lot of people probably before, including myself, a lot of people probably didn't even know how to search completed listings on eBay. That's information. A few years ago, that would have probably been in a paid-for book on how to use eBay. Now, my point is, this is all going to create more competition, whether it's free content or whether it's paid for content, whatever it is. More and more people are going to get involved, especially because of the free stuff, because it's free. Okay, so more and more people are going to start reselling. More and more people are going to start buying the things you like buying and reselling the things you like selling, and thus competing with you, competing against you. Competition, is it do you compete with someone or do you compete against someone? I think when it comes to business, I would say it's probably more competing against. If I've got this telephone for sale and you've got this telephone for sale, I want to sell mine over yours. So I'm guessing it's more against. But my point is that you should not see this as a negative. Competition is healthy. and it's what drives people. A great YouTuber called Craigslist Hunter in the US made a video about how 8 out of 10 businesses fail, and that doesn't matter what the business is, whether it's a coffee shop, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's reselling, whether it's being a car mechanic or a car dealership, anything. It doesn't matter. If you start up a new business, the chances are 80% that you're going to fail. And there's a good reason for that. People who can't compete will fail. Now, if someone's out there putting out tons of videos, in-depth videos. Like, look at someone like Michael Pierce, who's a very successful reseller over in the States. A young guy. I love watching his videos, and he's open and he's very detailed about what he buys, how much he buys it for, what he sells his stuff for. He's very detailed, and there's many like him. He's just one I've picked off the top of my head, and the reason why I picked him is because he's predominantly involved in video games, and video games is a massive category, especially when it comes to the second-hand market. Now, you've got a choice. You can either sit there and cry and whinge because you're not going to get as much for a certain video game because everyone is selling it, or it's harder to sell your copy of a certain video game because everyone knows about it and is selling it, and the market is crowded, or it's reaching saturation point, or it's too competitive. You can either cry about it or you can start competing. Now, if you can't compete, if you're afraid of competing, then you will fail. You will be part of that 8 out of 10 people that fail. You've got to start being more proactive. You've got to start thinking of competition as a good thing. Start branching out, thinking, okay, it's hard to compete in this. How can I improve? How can I up my game? I want to sell video games. I've got to get there earlier. I've got to get there quicker. I've got to get to the boot fair earlier. I've got to get there quicker. I've got to start making contacts. I want people to come to me with their video games first, to offer me the deals, or offer me the job lots. So you've got to start either changing within that category, or you've got to start thinking, I'm struggling here, I'm always getting beaten to the punch, I've got to start looking at other streams of income. We are living in a world of abundance, massive abundance. People buy and throw away stuff like just because we live in that kind of consumer society. There are so many categories you can learn about and sell in. It's a matter of being proactive and about being competitive. You've got, whatever category you're in, you've got to compete. Whether you know it or not, you're competing. You might be in a category where there's not much competition. You're still competing, just not as hard. And then if you go into a more competitive category, you're competing, but you've got to compete harder to achieve the same results. It's as simple as that. That's my opinion on the matter. So when you see videos on people giving away all the secrets, I hate using air parentheses, but you know, okay, when you see these videos giving away secrets, giving away tips and tricks, absorb it, take it in, because you're not the only one that's taking that information in, or has access to it. It's not what information you take in, it's how you use that information. There's going to be people that are going to see these videos and be like, oh great, that's you know, imagine if you were someone that knew that a certain item sells really well and you thought it was your little secret, and then some big mouth on the internet makes a massive video about how this little item that you've been into is a great seller. You can either see that video and go, oh great, that's that gone now, I can't be bothered to sell that because now my little secret's out, it's going to be too hard. Or you can be like, okay, I've got to now compete harder. And that is all about mindset, it's all about attitude. So I don't think it's a big issue. I think it's great to share. I think it's good karma, and I think competition is good because at the end of it, the ones of us who want to compete the hardest, that want it the most, that are most determined, will be the ones still making these videos a year down the line, still having our reselling businesses. And the ones that aren't as competitive, that don't want to compete as much, that don't fancy, they might not just fancy, they just might just not want to compete as much. They might just not be that competitive. The people that aren't that competitive a year down the line will probably have gone back and found a job and gotten employed, getting paid per hour instead. So that's my view on the matter. I'd be very interested in your guys' comments. Leave them in the comment section. I love reading comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, a thumbs down if you didn't. I'm always looking for constructive and non-constructive criticism. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you next time.